The Georgia Guidestones destroyed. And it's not something that you would see in the news. In fact, I don't think we've ever seen it in the news until today. Even I think when they were erected, I think was it back in the 1980s by an unknown group of people who had maybe seven different languages written on stone about keeping the population 500 million. Yeah, you all, this is really wow to hear about that on the news, and some people are rejoicing. They're rejoicing that hello and good evening, that they got destroyed. Some people feel that they got destroyed by lightning, and the way that lightning looks on the lightning maps and has looked for a past 3 months, I wouldn't be surprised at all if a big old lightning bolt came from the sky. I really wouldn't. Somebody said the god of thunder destroyed those guide stones. And some people say, well, they were deliberately destroyed because they were a sacrificial thing. For whatever reason, they're now completely demolished, I think. And now everybody's going to be curious about what these Georgia Guidestones had to say, you all. They're going to be very curious because I think the majority of the population on Earth had never heard of them because they never really looked at any alternative like news stories or information. They always looked at the mainstream and what the mainstream had to offer. Hello there, everyone. Thank you for joining. Let's come over here. I want to see the live chat, you all. We got it on the live chat. Look at this. We got it going. We really do. Hello there, Sun from the Sun. Yeah, you all. So, oh my goodness gracious, you all. Hugs, everyone, tonight. It's been demolished. Well, it's good that it's demolished because it didn't stand for anything good. It really did not. In fact, let's see, the Georgia somebody, they're looking for the reason. Look at this, you all. They want to know. Georgia, the GBI seeks information regarding the explosion. I wanted to go back. All right. Regarding the explosion of the Georgia Guidestones, July the 6th, 2022. So look at that. This is the Arabic writing, isn't it? Or Hindu, Indian, it's something. You see a great big old heap of stone, you all. And this person looking on there at the fence, you all. That's pretty wild. And those are like granite looking stones. Just think somebody had to engrave them. They did, but now they're in rubble. They're on the ground, torn apart. In the state of Georgia, the Bureau of Investigations, they want to know what happened to these Georgia Guidestones. The rods of God. Yes, the rods of God. Boom. Took them down. Just like that, you all. We can say that there was divine intervention. That's good because they don't need to be up there because it talked about all kinds of things that humanity really doesn't stand for. Maybe a handful of humanity, chosen elites, stood for it, but yeah, you know, it's not good, but it's gone. I don't think they're going to erect another one. I don't. I hope not. I really hope not. It is interesting. The town now owns it and keeps surveillance, yet it's the local Granite Association took care of it, Ginger Honey. Oh, wow. That is really interesting, you all. That is, hello there, Wolverine. Yes. We got an echo. Does anybody else got an echo? You just let me know if you got an echo because we should not have any echo. from this microphone. If we got an echo, they're causing it to be an echo. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Wow. You all don't tell me they've done it to us again. Yeah, the echo here, we're going to fix it. I wish I could show you my thing. I've got to, you're going to see my voice disappear. I'm going to come in here because they don't want us talking about it, so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to delete my audio input. You're not going to hear it. We should be back on. Are we back on? You should not have an echo. I'm going to wait. We're going to see if we still have an echo, you all, because I got it. Yeah. Oh, it's better now. Perfecto. Now you hear me better. Okay, I got to go through each screen, because if I just do just the screen, it's probably going to echo too. You tell me if it's going to echo right here. Is it echoing on this one too? I'm going to just go ahead and delete the audio input. Okay. Delete it. I've got to delete all of my audio. Okay, I've just added this one. Got to go and delete this audio input. All right. I got to bring it down to that. I'm going to bring it down to that. And I think we should be good. I think we are good now, you all. Boom. We can do this live. We can do this live if they want to make my voice echo. Yeah, that's great, you all. We can do it. I am back. Let's look at this, you all. Come on now. Look at that. It's now laying in rubble on the ground. Yeah, the lightning. Let's take a look at those lightning strikes, you all. We can take a look at them. Absolutely, we can. I like the lightning strikes. Let's look it up. I haven't got it bookmarked, but we're going to come over here and we're going to look it up. L-I-G-H-T. Yes, let's can do it. Come on. We're going to see it. Yeah, we're going to see it, you all. Look at that. It's all over the place. The lightning is literally all over the place. Right there. You can see it, and it's still going across the map. Lightning is one of those, yeah, it's like, wow, it has been like this for 3 months. We have documented it off and on, and it is wild. You can see it's arching all the way over here. That's coming from Canada. It's all over the place. You will look at the lightning going on. Yeah, so of course it could have been lightning. Absolutely it could have been. That's what I've got to say. Yeah. Plasma something, but they want information right there. They want the information. They got a surveillance camera. There is a car seen leaving the explosion. You all, let's look at that. Okay, well, we don't even have to play it. Let's look at it. One lone car with tinted windows left the explosion area. Oh, you all, we got to see it. Right there, we're going to... Oh, you all, did you see that? Oh, my. Someone said, you know, they got cameras all over the place. Look at that. It looks like a plasma in that light. I just want to say that looks like plasma right there. Me just looking at it. I think plasma could have jumped from there. Came from above, jumped from there, and jumped right out. But let's look at that, you all. Let's see what this this happens right here. Boom. It's like the camera switched. How come the camera switched? That's what I want to know. Why did it switch? Do you see that light go something? Let's look at it full screen. Let's see if we can see. It was powerful. And, well, let's see it again one more time, you all. Just one more. Okay, well, see, it knocked that one down over there. And, it went dark. That's what it did. It went dark. So, that is a, that was an explosion that made it on the news, is what it was. It made it, took the light out, is what it did. Took it completely out. Is this another one? Did we just look at this one? Oh, no, we looked at the explosion. The investigation is active and ongoing. Everyone is encouraged. If you got any information, well, we could call them and we could say, well, we think it is coming from the lightning strikes from above. There's a battle taking place in the skies above. It's a space war. Yeah, I'm sure that somebody's told them that. I really am sure someone said, you know, we got a space war going on up there. And I'm just glad that no one was injured. That's the good thing. No one was injured in that whole entire ordeal. But look at this. So lots of people are talking about it. Even USA Today, when it never made it in the news when it was built, it's certainly making it in the news now. It's making it in the news now. Look at that. Who paid for it? Well, let's look about who paid for it, you all. So when was this article? History's Mysteries. So I just wonder when this article right here was written, because really, how could you, doesn't say when the article was written. I'd like to know when it was written, because I don't think they could throw it together that fast. I really don't. Let's see. No date. Why isn't there a date on this article? Let's look at it. It was commissioned by a man who called himself Richard Christian. He went to Alberton Granite Finishing Company in '79 and said he wanted to build a monument that would send a message to mankind. I never heard that story before. Did you all hear that story before? I really never did. That's right. Hello, everyone. He went to the local bank. The mysterious, look at it. It's looks quite monumental there amongst the shrubbery. Yeah. The story came out 2 years ago about this. Okay, so let's see this. He okay, now this is what I heard. There was a pseudonym. He and a private group had been planning. I heard about a private group of people planning for it. They wished the entire project to remain strictly anonymous, well-dressed and well-spoken. The name, why would they have to have his name like that? You see, that's kind of interesting. He had no reason to believe that the man was not sane. Nonetheless, his name, real name, before he could conduct any business. I don't know about this narrative. I really don't. I really do not know about the narrative they got here. After completing the transactions, documents bearing the name must be destroyed. State he would never reveal the identity. Said about finding. I have a problem with this right here. Using that word right there. Because there is a lot of symbolicness associated with it. Okay, there really is. But that's how this is written. So we've got this man. What is? Oh, they're doing the granite. That's what they're doing, the granite. Yeah. So it began in 1980, and rumors were that they were the work of the devil. Began circulating even before the completion of the stone slabs etching. Communities feared the location would become some sort of a pagan landmark. The rumors became worse following the completion. See, this is what I heard of the monument on the 22nd of March of 1980. Because you had the March, that symbolic area, a symbolic timestamp. Some people believe that it was commissioned by the New World Order. Others believe that it sets forth the commandments of the Antichrist. Others opined it contains guidelines or advice for survivors of the apocalypse. Well, now it's gone. Now it's gone. If the apocalypse comes, there's not even going to be anything for them to look at because now it's destroyed. Yet another belief is the Thomas Paine. Followers of Thomas Paine commissioned the construction of the monument. And this actually may be true, given that there are certain parallels between the Guides and Paine's The Age of Reason. Yeah. So the dimensions. I never really heard about the dimensions. The Georgia Guidestones consist of 4 tall granite slabs, a centerpiece of equal height, a capstone that sits atop the 5 other stones, and 4 granite slabs are each 16 feet, 4 inches tall. They are 6 feet. Yeah, there goes my throat trying to itch again. Whenever I'm talking about something, my throat will itch at certain times. All I had was a drop of water in that, maybe. 6 feet by 6 inches and 1 foot and 7 inches thick. They each weigh more than 20 tons. The capstone weighs 25,000 pounds. They're sometimes referred to as the American Stonehenge, likely because of their shape and dimension. Vicky, honey, we can't be saying that in here. Yeah. So the purpose of the monument, it's the all-to-do of the Georgia Guidestone. The function is the messages of the monument. They were to be notched and have holes in them that would allow for the structure to act as a compass and a calendar. The sun shines through a hole in the capstone and shows what day it is in the centerpiece every day at noon. The North Star is viewable through a slot in the center stone, and there are also other ways to track the movement of the stars and the sun. Hello there, Applebrooks, honey. So, well, we ain't got to the end of that yet, you all. We haven't. Let's look at this. These functions obviously give the monument a decidedly ancient pagan feel. However, that is not the contention of many modern Christians. See, that's what gets me right here. Let's see. Look at this, you all. This is something's not right here. Not the contention of many modern Christians. And then the guy's name, so they say, his real name is Christian. Something's not settling right with my spirit. It really is not. It's not setting right with my spirit at all. Richard C. Christian. Yeah, it just, I don't know, it doesn't set well. And you may think nothing of it, but it's not adding up. So, where were we at, you all? I'm getting distracted. All right, so the North Star is visible. Yeah. These functions obviously give the monuments an ancient pagan feel. The problem appears to be the 10 Commandments located on 4 slabs and the words on the capstone. Additionally, the capstone states, "Let these be guidestones to an age of reason," etched in the classical Greek, Sanskrit, Egyptian, hieroglyphs, and Babylonian cuneiform. Right there. So that look. So maintain humanity under 500 million, the perpetual balance with something, improving fitness and diversity, unite humanity with a living new language. We're going to get a new language, you all. They want you to have a new language, rule with passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all the nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Yeah, that's kind of degrading, using that type of language. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Yeah, that's all right. That's fine. The stones have 10 commandments, rules, or guides, depending on how you look at them. In English, Swahili, Hebrew, Spanish, Russian, Arabic, Chinese, and Hindi. The text in English states the following: maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity, unite humanity with the living language, rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason, protect people and nations with fair laws and courts, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court, avoid petty laws and useless officials, balance personal rights with social duties. Social duties. Prize truth, beauty, love-seeking harmony with the infinite. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature and leave room for nature. So the meaning is relatively clear. They want a group of people wanted to set forth their beliefs on a monument that could be viewed by the rest of humanity. And it's obvious that their hope is that these beliefs are viewable for quite some time. This is actually a quite common practice and not mysterious in itself. However, not knowing whose beliefs they are makes the people uneasy. Okay, uneasy, you all. Are they go on to say with this article, are they simply ideals that people hope the world would understand and someday abide by? Do these people hope it will guide humanity after an apocalypse? Or are they the commandments of the Antichrist or the beliefs of the New World Order? We may never know. The only man who knows the identity of the individual connected to the financing of the monument has sworn to carry his secret to the grave. So let me put this on here, right here. I did not copy this link and put it in here, and I should have when we started reading, but it's in here now. That's really interesting. It is. How that man's name is like that. I never remember years ago when I was looking into the Georgia Guidestones, I never remember seeing or hearing that part about that. I hadn't, but that is some history. Let's look at this. Let's put this, the Google imagery thing in here. No, it's not going to let me, you all. I'm not going to get it in here. Let me maybe do it like this. It doesn't want me to do it, but I'm going to do it. Let's copy this and put this in here. Since we use their Google images, and one image led to another image. So what do you all think? What do you think happened? You think lightning struck it? The rods of God struck it and destroyed it? Do you think it was like deliberately done by those who wanted the world to know more about their own plans, or what? I mean, I never liked it the moment I saw it. I really didn't. And it's very controversial, extremely. And now it's in Rubbles, and it makes a lot of people happy. It really does. It makes people happy. That is laying there on the ground, you all, and I can't help but giggle. And really, I'm laughing that it made its way in the mainstream news. When the news was focusing on CERN, well, the alternate news was focusing on CERN, and perhaps they didn't want the local news, the mainstream news, talking about CERN. And so now we got the Georgia Guidestones coming into the spotlight, which I'm sure it's going to get a lot of conversations going. A lot of people's going to be wondering, why would they write something like that? And who are they? And yeah, a time capsule underneath the guide stones. Wow. Well, if friendly off-worlders blew it up in order to send a message to the darkness, I think that's absolutely wonderful. I really do. Because the darkness needs to have a message like that sent to it. It does. So if there was a time capsule underneath, let's see if there was something about a time capsule underneath. That would be something interesting to look at. Yeah. So let's go here, you all, to see if there's something underneath there. Where did they come from? See the news at Yahoo. Nickname Stonehenge. Astrologically aligned. 19 feet. They were approached by a small group of loyal Americans that should be able of withstanding catastrophic events. See, look at that. Yeah, that's really... Okay, yeah, here we go. A planned time capsule. A 5-acre site was purchased from a local farmer, and the completed monument was unveiled before a crowd of a couple hundred people on the 22nd of March of 1980. A planned time capsule was never buried beneath the stone tablet, but it does list the sponsors as a small group of Americans who seek the age of reason. So the North Star, how do they know a time capsule? Why are they just saying a time capsule was never buried beneath it? Because they didn't want somebody looking for it? Yeah. Each outer vertical stone block is inscribed with a 10-part message in 8 different languages. Guidelines for humanity, you all. Conspiracy theories aside, locals were disappointed after an explosion in the early hours of July the 6th of 2022 that partially demolished the monument. They created lots of discussions and brought visitors. So that's, yeah. To quarry something of that size and get those 4 of them that precise with the sandblasting, it took to the letter those languages. It's utter craftsmanship that you won't find anywhere else. What if someone other than human beings did that, you all? Inscribed it, because you know you got those great big old precision stones in Egypt and stuff. You can't even put anything in between them. What if the aliens did it? What if they did some type of extraterrestrial, interdimensional, off-worldly person, some immortal beings made those guide stones? What if they did and somebody destroyed them? What if it wasn't any human hand that did it, that crafted them together? What if that story is all make-believe? Now, granted, it did get built, and I'm sure someone went and put in the order for it. But what if the names or the people are fictional? They're not real. What if it's just made up names and stuff just to get the people going? It could have been. Could be many reasons, but it wasn't nice what they wrote. I will say that. It's not nice at all what was written on them. It's not nice to put it in humanity's face that's what they want. Jen Green, no one seems to get it. No one with eyes to see. I'm out. Well, just because someone doesn't see things the precise way that you see them, it doesn't mean that their perception is wrong just because it's different than yours. Because I think we all perceive things slightly, somewhat different than others. I do. And perhaps in time, some of us may see things differently than we saw at this present moment in time as things continue to evolve, as we evolve, really. That's right. They were destroyed at 3:33 a.m. Dog's drool. A direct energy weapon. Yeah, that's a good question. Why now? Why would they destroy these guide stones now? Because here they are, right here. Antarctic's the 33 third degree Mason. Yeah. That's okay. Hello, everyone. We just look at these guide stones right here. And they are a something to look at. Oh, there's a hole in it right there. Right there in that center hole, like a black hole. The black hole. Yeah. There are time capsules that are buried and meant to be opened at this time in history. This wasn't a destruction, but an activation of the time capsules. Wonder what those time capsules really had in them. What was in them? Like a mystery. Really, it's time for something, you all. What is it time for? And it's time for CERN to go full throttle. And CERN is all about, is it like time, space-time continuum, dark energy, opening portals and stuff? 76. Yeah. You can see some people looking at it. It looks kind of strange. It does. Yeah. A fake alien invasion. Well, about a fake alien invasion, whether or not it's fake or not, it would have a real world effect on people. It would. A total real world effect if people, you know, started missing and or things started getting destroyed. We would feel it. We would. Regardless of whether if someone considered it fake or not. I think the outcome would be the still felt. It would be. Yeah. Concern. It's a con. CERN does not concern. Oh. That's kind of funny. It does not concern you. Yeah, let's look at this. Let me look at this one more time. Look at this. So, Apocalypse documentary, Georgia Guidestone. Let me see this. What they got it. Look at all these things that came out today. All of these stories and stuff came out hidden in plain sight. The most disturbing U.S. monument. A strange mystery. A complete creepy catalog. Let's see that complete creepy catalog, you all. Right here. Let's look at it really fast because it's like one more thing. And I won't spend too much more time on it because there's all kinds of videos on here about it. But your comments are very interesting and welcomed. They really are. The Georgia Guidestones have been called America's most mysterious monument. learn all there is to know. What is Stonehenge and why, like a structure like that, is in rural Georgia? Why do the message inscribed on them predict the end of the world? Now, see, this sounds like it's from a different point of view. They are known as the American Stonehenge, a massive granite structure from near the South Carolina border. No one knows who paid for the construction of the Georgia Guidestones, nor what exactly is meant by the strange messages engraved on them. And here is the text. So we saw the text that had the 8 languages, 10 messages in 8 different languages on the giant slabs. So you can see them right there. Maintain humanity under 500 million. Leave no room for petty laws. Eastern Georgia, about 30 miles from the college town of Athens. Athens, like Athens, Greece. 90 miles from Atlanta. The ley lines, yeah, I think they were like, was it 20 feet tall or something like that? Well-dressed. Specifications. Let's see. Let's read about this. Precisely engineered. Okay. He allegedly presented the builders with a shoebox containing a wooden model of the monument along with 10 pages of extremely detailed specifications. Well, I think when they made the Ark of the Covenant, not the Ark of the Covenant, whatever they were back in the Old Testament, there were extremely detailed specifications to building everything they did, extremely detailed, and they had to be very precise. So Ted Turner, others suspect that Ted Turner financed the project, since Ted Turner of CNN fame is located a mere 100 miles away in Atlanta. Since many of his stated globalist goals reflect the message of the Georgia Guidestone, and it has also been suggested that he is a mystery patron behind the giant granite slabs. I've heard about that. See, this is who I heard about, Ted Turner. What did they mean decoding the message? Seems to call for at least 90% of the Earth's population to be wiped out. 90% of the Earth's population to be wiped out. But that was back at that time. How much is 90% nowadays? If we are a planet of 7 billion, I can't really do this. 7. Let me see. Yeah. Well, okay, that would take it down. That would take that much out. It'd take out 6,300,000,000 people, is what it would take out. So, whoever paid for the construction, the passage is maintaining humanity at a population of 500 million or less, and we require a massive dying off of humanity. Oh my gosh, you all, this sounds apocalyptic. Look at this. I did not flip this over. The message of the Georgia Guidestones seems to call for at least 90% of the Earth's population to be wiped out. I pushed that button, you all, and it did not want you all to go to that screen. I still got the button pushed. And I'm seeing if it's going to let you go to that screen. Okay, now it's letting you go to that screen. The passage about maintaining humanity at a population of 500 million or less will require a massive dying off of humanity, the likes of which we've never seen. This is what has led many conspiracy theorists to allege that whoever financed the Guidestones, they are in cahoots with an evil New World Order project to extensively depopulate the planet. But since whoever paid for their construction was able to not only hide their identity, but also their intentions for constructing this extremely bizarre monument, what they actually mean is anyone's guess. Right-wing pundit Mark Dice claims they are a deep state satanic origin, and R.C. Christian was a member of a Luciferian secret society with ties to the New World Order, urging that the Guidestones be smashed into a million pieces, Dice elaborated. The elite are preparing to develop a successful life extension technology in the next few decades that will nearly stop the aging process, and they fear that with the current population of Earth so high, the masses will be using resources that the elite want for themselves. The Guidestones are the New World Order's 10 Commandments. They're also a way for the elite to get a laugh at the expense of the uniformed masses, as their agenda stands as a clear as day, and the zombies don't even notice it. You all, oh my gosh, this is in our face. I'm looking at this as 666 on the total chat. It is. Let me see if I can get it over here, you all. That's what it said. It said 666. Now it's at 670. Yeah, when I was looking on my cell phone, it said 666. So yeah, you all, this is wild. Oh my gosh. Radical Christians have referred to the 10 messages inscribed on the Guidestones as the 10 Commandments of the Antichrist. I never heard that before until this day. In 2000, Christian minister Reagan R. Davis said the messages on the Guidestones are a clear call for the world government, for state-sponsored eugenics programs, and for a global culling of the human herd, all of which were predicted in the book of Revelation. Herd mentality, herd immunity. Conspiracy theorists Van Smith said the Guidestones were the pet project of a white supremacist from Iowa who sought to establish a totalitarian one-world government. He also says that encoded in the Guidestone structure is the numerical value in the feet of Dubai's Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building. He said this proves that the planners intended the Burj Khalifa to be the new Tower of Babel that would rush in the dawning of a new era in which man can become God. You all, I like this because it's got all the different types of theories that are out there, and I haven't heard some of these, so I think this is good to hear from different points of view, different theories, because some of them are really interesting. They are. Let's look at this. Applebrooks, honey, are you doing okay in here? I think that you might be on your own. Are you okay, Applebrooks, honey? You all, we need to give Applebrooks a big thank you for being in here. That's right. Yeah, I know it's a lot of people. It's 716 people in this live chat. Thank you, Applebrooks, honey. Do we got an echo again? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's right. Marion honey, Margarine honey, Marjorie honey. I like to use the word theory, okay, just to use it, okay? So if you ever hear me say theory, I'm going to use the word theory just to use it. Yes, that's right. So because the type of granite used to build the Guidestone is called the pyramid blue. Oh, wow. And the granite came from the pyramid quarries. Some conspiracists have said the Guidestones are a part of an elaborate Masonic conspiracy to control the world. Since one of the 8 languages on the Guidestone is Hebrew, which is only spoken by 9 million people, others insist that the monument is part of a Zionist plan to construct a new world order. Alex Jones, in his film Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement, claims the Guidestones represent a genocidal depopulation program sponsored by the world's financial elites. This is so good. Can I tell you how good this is? They got all these theories all into one spot. I love it. I do love it. I mean, I'm glad, they're getting them out there, and I don't like the evil that's in the world, but I love hearing all the different types of theories. It's very informative from different points of view. It is. Seattle-based conspiracist Jay Widener said the Guidestones were created by Rosicrucians, never heard of them, who believe that, let me put this back here, you all. Seattle-based Jay Widener says the Guidestones were created by Rosicrucians who believe that a solar event comes every 13,000 years to devastate Earth. He says that Rosicrucian order is working behind the scenes to create planetary chaos that culminates in a destructive solar event. Yeah. Let me just say this again. When I use the word theories, just don't take it like that, Gina. You're just calling it a theory. I want to use the word theory, okay? And it very well may be facts, but can I use the word theory, because that's what I'm using, the word theory. So others claim they were intended to be seen by the survivors of a nuclear war. Well, they're not going to see it now. Since the Georgia Guidestones were built in 1979 at the height of the Cold War between the USA and Soviet Union that many thought would inevitably result in a nuclear apocalypse, writers such as Brad Meltzer suggest the Guidestones were meant to be seen by that war's survivors, at which point the world's population would already be below 500 million people. Let's see the interesting facts. This is good. Now we're into the factual. We are. That's right. Yoko Ono called the Guidestones a steering call to rational freedom. She cut a tribute track in 1993 called Georgia Stone. The stones were defaced with graffiti in 2008. The spray-painted message was "Death to the New World Order." A mysterious time capsule is allegedly buried nearby. A tablet erected near the Guidestones claims that a time capsule is buried beneath the tablet, although there is no proof the capsule really exists and no suggestion of what is written on it. The Guidestones were purposely designed to track the sun's east-west migration year-round. During an equinox or solstice, those who stand at the west side of the mail slot carved into the Guidestones can see the sunrise over the horizon. The 4 outer stones are positioned to mark the limits of the 18.6-year lunar declination cycle. An eye-level hole drilled in the center stone permits viewers to locate the North Star. A small hole drilled through the capstone serves as a sundial. At noon every day, a reading of where the sunbeam hits the center column allows one to pinpoint the exact day of the year. In 2009, a man stole a 6-inch cube of granite from the top of one of the Guidestones. 4 years later, police arrested William Jeremy Ellis in the middle of the night as he was trying to replace the cube of granite that he's stolen. He explained to the police that he didn't want that weight anymore. A tablet in front of the monument declares, "Let these be Guidestones to an age of reason." It's kind of hard to be reasonable when you're talking about wiping out 90% of the planet's inhabitants, though. The Guidestones were designed to withstand catastrophic events such as, a world war that wiped out 6.5 billion people. As the world lay in ashes, somewhere R.C. Christian and his cohorts could take a little comfort that at least their giant creepy tombstone was still standing way out in rural Georgia. The author is Jim Goad, right there. So you all, that was really informative. about the Georgia Guidestones. Right here, you can see it. It was written on, it looks like on March the 5th of 2021. That is pretty cool. It is. That's right. And an explosion in Rockdale, Georgia tourist attraction. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was pretty interesting. That really was. So we can see that we found that from here. There's like other ones, the strange mystery, capsules under. It just does not want me to go. What are the capsules? So you've got people wrote things today. The 10 weird things that you've got to know. Excuse me. This would be the last thing I think we look at, you all. It's since it's destroyed now, might as well look about it. This is a history in the making. It really is. The Georgia Guidestones. 10 weird things you've got to know. The Atlanta Traveler 3 hours ago. Let me be frank, the Georgia Guidestones are a roadside attraction, not a destination in of themselves. Since they are a far drive from Atlanta, I'd recommend stopping to see the American Stonehenge on your way to the Watson Mill Bridge. Since it was erected, it has been the center of several stories from conspiracy theorists. What do you think? A typically called a cross between Stonehenge and Rosetta Stone. No one knows the exact purpose of the granite monument. They are a little freaky and a lot of weird. There is no denying their artistic prowess. There are 10 interesting facts and showcase their strangest. The GBI reported that someone exploded a section of the Guidestone early on July the 6th of 2022. We are super sad about this. Please note that this article was written and photos taken prior to the explosion. Afternoon update, they have demolished what remains of the Guidestones. Well, we're going to have to look at the video. If it's not on YouTube, we can look at it. Yeah, we're going to look at it right here. It is being demolished. Wow. Right there. Let's look at it in. So I don't think they would have had to take them all down, but they decided to take them down. That's really interesting. And this was a tweet right here. It's got 947 retweets. You all, let me put this on here because this is something that we've looked at. We're going to document that. That way you can come back to that very video and you can look at it yourself too. That's really interesting. If we can do that right there, we can do it. They have multilingual guidelines. Babylonian, Classical Greek, Sanskrit, Egyptian hieroglyphs. Age of Reason. That's it. What happened? No, I don't want to continue reading if it's just going to... They're aligned with the stars and the earth. There is a sundial and a clock. The world's finest granite is what it is. Right there. The capstone weighs 25,000 tons. Each 4 of them stand 16 feet tall. They weigh over 20 tons each is what they weigh. They're famous believers Yoko Uno is a supporter of their inscriptions on the stones, saying the words are a steering call to rational thinking. Others believe that, nuclear doomsday. Others believe it's an occult structure used for pagan rituals. Ted Turner could be involved. The rumor is he built them. Not so secure cameras. The land on which the Guidestones sit is owned by the county. In 2014, there was a bout of vandalism on the stones, which led to placement of 2 wireless cameras. The cameras were never powered, though. A message from the movie. 2015, a documentary was released that explains the connection to the Rosicrucians, the Freemasonry, and the nations. We can click into that, and you all can see that right there. Dark clouds over Alberton. We can click here. Since this is a live stream, you may want to go look at that if you find that kind of stuff interesting. If you like to read, you can do that. Right there. Math facts. Instructions after an aftermath of an apocalypse. 500 million. Over 80% of the world's population is gone. Could the time capsule be the answer? The nearby legend code references a time capsule buried beneath the tablet. The only problem, the fields of the stone on the stone reserved for the dates it was buried have never been inscribed. Was the time capsule never buried, or were the dates never updated? Is what it says. Were they never updated? The different languages right there. This may be the only thing about it right here, you all. And that's it. So I am going to be getting off of here. I am. That's a lot of the information on there, and I never thought that this would happen. Never even thought about the Georgia Guidestones with everything else going on in the world, but I'm sure it is very significant and very symbolic what happened, and I think there's going to be some type of a domino effect. I think what happened is going to be reverberating throughout the spiritual realm, for sure. It's going to get a lot of people talking, is what it's going to do, and it's probably going to cause some other things to start happening, whatever those things might be. But I want to thank you all for coming on here. Thank you, Apple Brooks, honey, for monitoring this live chat. It's a lot of people. It is. That's right. So, no, I don't like the words that were inscribed on it at all. I don't. It's not very nice to say. It's not very nice to even insinuate. It's not nice knowing that people feel that way. Yeah, but it's done now. It's demolished. It's crumbled. They knocked it down. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, you all. Thank you, and good night.